Hello, church family. I am Minister Dove, and this is Freedom Wings Ministries Corporation. I am the founder, and it's been a while since I've posted because we had the holidays and everything. But so today's lesson is Genesis chapter 21, and it's Isaac is born. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at this time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. So that all will hear will laugh with me. So they're so old that it doesn't make any sense. But with God, all things can make sense that don't make sense. With God, all things can make sense that don't make sense. You just have to follow the Lord's word on your heart. Follow the Lord's word on your heart. Let's see. Where did we leave off? And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God has made me to laugh, so that all that heareth will laugh with me. And she said, Who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. It says, number 9, Hagar and Ishmael are expelled. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be here with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. So, we see Abraham has mixed emotions, and he's very sad. It says grievous, so, because Isaac is his son. Anyway, and God said unto Abraham, Let it not be grievous in thy sight, because of the laid, and because of the bondwoman, in all that Sarah hath said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. For in Isaac shall the seed be called. So this is Abraham's son. It's his call. It's his faith on the world. And God says, do not grieve that he must go with Sarah. Do not grieve that he must go with Sarah. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him, a good way off, as it were a bow shot. Alright, let me read that again. It's number 16. And she went and sat her down over against him, a good way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said, Let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice, and wept. And God heard the voice of the laid, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the laid where he is. It's a little confusing. I thought Isaac was going with Sarah, but now we find out that we have Agar. So let's see now. I'm gonna keep reading. Maybe let's pray God clarify the confusion in this phrase, in this chapter 21 Genesis. May whoever is confused have their hands on a Bible and be able to interpret it as I go through and interpret it myself. So let's see, number 15. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him, a god way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said, Let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him, and left up her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the maid, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the maid where he is. Arise, lift up and lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened his eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad drink. So we see this child that is with her is Hagar, or whomever. You may, names can be kind of confusing, but so she sees, she prays and cries and weeps. God appears to her, and then within the midst of God's appearance comes the well. God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad drink. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an anchor. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. Eblich and Abraham make a covenant. Eblich and Abraham make a covenant is the next section. It's chapter 22 in Genesis chapter 21. It's section 22 in Genesis chapter 21. And it came to pass at that time that Eblich and Phicol and chief captain of his host spoke unto Abraham, saying, God is with thee in all that thou doest. Now therefore swear unto me here by God, that thou willest not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned, in the land where thou hast sojourned. So she prays, do with me the kindness of your hearts, that I have done the kindness of my heart unto this person over here. Do to the kindness that I have done to you. That's a good way to do to the kindness that I have done to you. And so I'm going to start with chapter 24, section 24. And Abraham said, I will swear. And Abraham reproved Ishmael because of a well of water which Ishmael's servants had violently taken away. And Ishmael said, I wot not who hath done this thing, neither didst thou tell me, neither yet heard I of it, but today. And Abraham took sheep and oxen, and gave them unto Ishmael, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set seven ewe, CWE, lambs of the flock by themselves. And Ishmael said unto Abraham, What mean these 7 ewes, lambs which thou hast set by themselves. And he said, For these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take in my hand, and they may be a witness unto me that I have digged this well. Therefore I called the place Beersheba, because there they swore both to them. Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimechkel, it's Abimeleech. So I've been saying Amichel rose up and proclaimed the chief captain of his host, and they returned unto the land of Philistines. And Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned in the Philistines' land many days. So Abraham sojourned in the Philistines' land many days. In the Philistines' land many days. What do we have to say? The Lord will watch over you and bless you and take care of you. And the coming of her weeping, she found water to supply Hagar, the child. And we also learn that the Lord will ease grievance. The Lord will ease grievance, for as Abraham grieved over Isaac, and the Lord said, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry. So you see, many blessings come upon us as we focus our faith on the Lord. Many blessings come upon us as we focus our faith on the Lord. And so, many blessings, my friends, many blessings.